Okay, so at this point we have completed both of our identical pieces to create our glove. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take both of our pieces. This is how they look like. I have secured all of my yarns. So I am going to put one piece on top of the other, and I'm going to pair the identical fingers. So this is my thumb and this is my thumb. So these two are going to go together. So my index finger, the middle finger, the next finger, and the pinky finger. So what we're going to do now is we are going to join these two pieces together by crocheting slip stitches on each single crochet. So I'm going to put my crochet hook on the first single crochet of the front part, and on the first single crochet on the back part, on the second single crochet of the front part, and on the second single crochet of the back part. And we are going to join these two pieces together. So what I'm going to do to help the twisting of the fingers, I'm going to put some stitch markers on top. I have both of the fingers, and I'm going to put a stitch marker from the one side to the other. So this will help. So my so the fingers don't twist, and you don't have to be fixing them all the time. And it also holds our glove together. So this will help once we come to the point where we crochet the slip stitches on top of the fingers. It'll help keep the two fingers together so they don't keep twisting all the time. So let's start joining our piece. What we're going to do together is we're going to start joining, and we're going to do the first finger together, top, moving upwards, the top, and then moving downwards. And then I'm going to turn my video off, and I'm going to turn back it on when I come to the place where I am going to start joining the thumb over here on my triple crochet. So I'm going to put my hook on the first single crochet of the first part, and on the first single crochet on the back part. So I'm going to grab the yarn and pull it through both single crochet and chain one. So then move to your second single crochet of the front piece, second single crochet of the back piece, and make a slip stitch. Third single crochet of the front piece, third single crochet of the back piece, and make a slip stitch. Fourth stitch on the front piece, and fourth stitch on the back piece, and make a slip stitch. Fifth stitch on the front piece, fifth stitch on the back piece and make a slip stitch. So this is how the slip stitches look like so far. So once you make your first slip stitches, from this point on, your stitches should be aligned, the front and the back. So you can just push your hook from one side to the other and make your slip stitches. Next 2 stitches, next 2 stitches. So when I say 2 stitches, I mean the front and the back stitch together. Next 2 stitches, next 2 stitches and slip stitch, next 2 stitches and slip stitch, next 2 stitches and slip stitch. So keep making one slip stitch by grabbing the front and the back of your glove, and we want to have the same exact stitches on the front and on the back. So once you grab your 10th stitch, for example, on the front, you want to have the 10th stitch on the back too, because if you start joining your glove and it's crooked, let's say you have the 11th stitch on the front and the 9th stitch on the back, your glove is going to come out crooked, and it's going to the one piece is going to look move upwards, another piece is going to move downwards, and you won't be able to wear your glove correctly. Slip stitch, next 2 stitches, 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 so I'm going to take my stitch marker off at this point. And the last stitch on the front and my last stitch on the back. Now we're gonna work a slip stitch on each of the rows. So I had 5 rows. That means that I'm gonna have 5 slip stitches on top of over here. I've already made one of those slip stitches by making a slip stitch in their last single crochet. So let's go to the first single crochet of the next row, the first single crochet of the next row on the back piece, and make a slip stitch on the first single crochet of the front piece and the first single crochet of the back piece, next single crochet on the front piece and next single crochet of the back piece and make a slip stitch, and your last single crochet on the front and on the back and make a slip stitch. And now we're going to start moving downwards. So let's go to the next single crochet of the front and of the back piece and make a slip stitch, and keep making one slip stitch on each single crochet, grabbing the front and the back piece to connect them together. So don't be afraid that your fingers are going to look square once you wear your glove. This is the wrong side of our glove. So once we finish making slip stitches in all the fingers, we're going to turn the glove inside out, so all your fingers are going to look round on the top. Next stitch, next 2 stitches and make a slip stitch, the next 2 stitches and make a slip stitch, the next 2 stitches and make a slip stitch. And now we have come to the part where we join, where we're going to move to the next finger. So grab the last 2 single crochet and make a slip stitch. And now we are going to start making slip stitches on our next finger. Starting from the first single crochet and make a slip stitch and start making 1 slip stitch grabbing the front and the back part, and we always want to grab the same stitches. So we're going to move upwards, we're going to do the top part and then move downwards. So let's finish up to this point off camera, and when I come to this point too, I'm going to turn my video back on again. So at this point I have closed all my fingers with slip stitches. So I have joined both sides together, and I'm at this point where I'm about to finish my thumb. So what we're going to do is we are going to put our hook under the triple crochet. Since I'm at this point where I have slip stitch in the last single crochet over here, and the next stitch is my triple crochet, so I'm going to put my hook under the triple crochet and make a slip stitch. I'm going to put my hook on this stitch over here on the top of the triple crochet and make a slip stitch. And now we're going to keep making 1 slip stitch in every single crochet as we were doing on the other fingers too. And we want to be grabbing the same stitches on both of our sides. So grab the next 2 stitches and make a slip stitch, the next 2 stitches and make a slip stitch, next 2 stitches, make a slip stitch, the next 2 stitches, make a slip stitch, and the final single crochet for the row, which is the first single crochet of the top 5 rows over here. So I'm gonna take out my stitch marker. So I'm going to do a total of 4 slip stitches on top over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to move downwards to make 1 slip stitch joining both sides of our glove. Make sure you're grabbing the same stitch on the front as in the back also. So this is the second before last single crochet, and the last single crochet on the front part, and the last single crochet on the back part. Slip stitch and chain 1. So this is how our glove looks like so far. And what we're going to do now is we're going to turn our glove inside out. So grab all of your fingers and turn them inside out. So I'm gonna wear my glove to open up all the fingers. And see that even though that it was square on the wrong side, see how all of my fingers are round at this point. But we see how, because we were making one single crochet, we were doing 5 rows of single crochet for each finger. We see that at this point our glove is wider than our hand, than our wrist over here. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to make 1 row of decreases. So I'm gonna grab the loop, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be crocheting together 2 single crochet every time. So I'm gonna put my hook on the first single crochet of the next row. So what we're going to be doing now, I'm going to be putting my hook on the first single crochet of every row. So the first single crochet, grab the yarn, pull through, and hold the loop on your hook. Next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, and now we have 3 loops on our hook. So grab the yarn, pull through all of those 3 loops. So what we did now is we decreased the first 2 stitches and we created 1 single crochet out of them. So put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, and hold the loop on your hook. Next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, and hold the loop on your hook. So we have 3 loops, grab the yarn, pull through all of those 3 loops. So those 2 single crochet became 1 stitch again. So put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, and hold the loop on your hook. Grab the yarn, pull through the stitch, and hold the loop on your hook. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 3 loops. So those 2 stitches became 1 single crochet again. Put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, and hold the loop on your hook. Put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through the stitch, and hold the loop on your hook. Grab yarn and pull it through all of those 3 loops. So that's how you're going to continue all of this row up until you finish. Up until this stitch over here. So then we're going to make a slip stitch from the first single crochet of this row. So we are going to continue the whole row by making decreases, and we're going to be making crocheting 2 single crochet every time. So we're going to be left with half of the total stitches that we have at this point. So I've completed making my decreases. I crocheted 2 single crochet together every time. So I'm going to put my hook from the first single crochet of this row and make a slip stitch, chain 1, and turn my work. So this is the only row of decreases that I'm going to be making, because up until I finish all of my rows, I'm going to be doing 1 single crochet in every stitch. And even though we made only 1 row of decreases, once you finish making your rows, you will have your cuff over here for your glove. I think it's called cuff. If it's not, I'm sorry. It's going to get narrow. So even though we won't make any more decreases, it's going to get narrow by itself. So row after row, it's going to be getting more narrow by itself. And you are going to follow this this step probably in every size of glove that you might that you're going to make, even if it's for a child or for a male where they have wider hands. So you're going to follow this step every time, because at the end once you finish your glove, it's always going to be wider than your wrist, so you're going to need those decreases. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make one row of one single crochet in every stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and my last stitch 28. And I'm going to put my hook in the first single crochet of this row, make a slip stitch and a chain one, and I'm going to turn my work. So we are going to be turning our work after each row, and I've already completed the first two rows for the cuff over here for my glove, and I am going to do 9 more rows of single crochet. So I'm going to have a total of 11 rows of single crochet. Now after this row you can choose to make a back post, a front post, back post, double crochet. You can make 2 stitches of front post or 2 stitches of back post. You can choose whatever you like to end your glove with. So let's do 9 more rows of single crochet, and when I finish I'm going to turn my video back on again to see how we're going to do our last row of the spike stitch. So I've completed a total of 11 rows for the wrist, and I have made my slip stitch. So I am going to chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and tighten up. So I am going to weave in my ends. Okay, and I always do that on the back loops of my work. So I'm going to cut the yarn. So see how the wrist over here closed up even more, even though we didn't make any more decreases. So this is how it's kind of tight in the beginning. So this is how our glove looks like. You can make more rows if you want. You can make it up to here or here, depends what you like. So this is how our glove looks like. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make one row with my spike stitch. So I have one more yarn over here to weave in. So this is the yarn that I started my slip stitches, I think. Okay, so I'm ready now to start my spike stitch, and I'm gonna do that with a light pink. So I'm gonna put my hook in one of my single crochet over here. So put your hook in one stitch, grab the new color, pull through the stitch, chain one, and make a single crochet in the same stitch. So as I'm making my single crochet, I'm gonna be crocheting this strand of yarn as I go, so I don't have to secure it at the end. So my first single crochet, it's made in the correct stitch in the row that we ended up with. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the next stitch, but I'm gonna put my hook in the previous row, but in the same stitch. I'm just gonna move my hook downwards and go to the previous row, and I'm gonna make my first spike. It's going to be a single crochet, and you are going to have your hook kind of loose so the yarn extends from the previous row up to this row, so you can make your single crochet. So in the next stitch we are going to make a regular single crochet. In the next stitch we are going to make a spike. So in the next stitch I'm going to go to the previous row of the next stitch, and I'm going to make my spike. In the next single crochet I'm going to do a regular single crochet, and in the next stitch I'm going to make a spike. So I'm going to go to the previous row's next stitch. So in the next stitch I'm going to make a regular single crochet, and the next stitch is going to be a spike. So I'm going to put my hook in the previous row and make a single crochet. The next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet. The next stitch is going to be a spike. So this is where I would put my hook regularly, but I'm going to move one row downwards, so in the previous row, and I'm going to make a spike. So next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet, and the next stitch is going to be a spike. So I'm going to make a single crochet starting from the previous row. The next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet, and the next stitch is going to be a spike. So I'm going to make a single crochet starting from the previous row. The next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet, and the next stitch is going to be a spike. So I'm going to make a single crochet starting from the previous row. The next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet, and the next stitch is going to be a spike. Next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet. Next stitch is going to be a spike. So this is how the border of our glove looks like. The next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet. The next stitch is going to be a spike, regular single crochet, spike, regular single crochet, spike, regular single crochet, and my last stitch is going to be a spike. And I'm going to make a slip stitch from the first single crochet of this row. chain 1, cut your yarn, pull the loop, and tighten up. So I'm going to secure this yarn and our glove is going to be ready. What you can do is you can add flowers, you can add buttons, you can add anything you want to make your glove look prettier. If you make a glove for a child, you can make each finger to be a different color. I think I might make a pair of those for my daughter if I have some time. And cut the yarn carefully. And our glove is ready. This is my one glove. So both of the gloves can be worn on both of your hands. There isn't a right hand one or a left hand one. So this is how our pair of gloves looks like. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you liked the video, please like and leave a comment. Thanks again. Bye bye.